Based in Nishio City, Aichi Prefecture, among sloping hills and lush green tea fields, Aiya, Japan is nestled in the heart of matcha country. The Nishio region, renowned as a top-class matcha-producing region in terms of quality, quantity, and history, currently produces about 40% of Japan's matcha per year. Every year in May, during the new harvest season, we carefully pluck the fresh tea leaves one by one. These tea leaves, having undergone strict inspections, are produced into high-quality matcha that is cherished not only in Japan, but by people around the world.
Nishio's tea fields are covered in a seemingly endless sea of green. Tea was brought to Japan during the Kamakura era, when Zen monk Eisai returned from China with tea plant seeds during the Song dynasty. Zen monk Eisai spread the culture of tea by offering Minamoto no Sanetomo, the shogun at the time, the Book of Tea, or Kisa yo Joki. The Nishio tea plantations were first established in 1271, when Jiso Temple's founder, Shoichi Kokushi, planted tea seeds brought back from China in the monastery's garden. During the Meiji era, the head priest of the local temple, Adachi Jundo, spread his knowledge of matcha production. Utilizing Yahagi River's pristine water, the region's fertile soil and temperate climate, a full-scale production of tencha, the raw material used in making matcha, was soon realized. Today this region boasts one of the highest matcha production volumes in the country. The first tea plants planted in the Koju Temple during the Meiji era can still be visited today. Pioneered by Sugita Aijiro, Aiya was established in 1888 as a local shop providing dyes and teas. Aiya was the nickname for Sugita's shop because he carried aidama, an ingredient used in dyeing. This nickname became the official title of the company when it was incorporated in the year 1950. The company logo used today was also invented during this time. It may look like a pumpkin, but it actually depicts the furrows in the tea fields. When Aijiro first established his shop, he was focused primarily on gyokuro tea production. In 1908, Aijiro sought to move the business toward producing premium teas while utilizing the manufacturing method of gyokuro, so he began producing tencha, the raw material for matcha. First, Aijiro teamed with local tea producers to cultivate the Inariyama Tea Park area. At the time, cultivating new fields required tremendous amounts of manpower and hard hours, but by improving technologies, they strived to create a stable environment for producing and harvesting tea. Furthermore, Aijiro invested long hours toward improving the granite mill. His innovations to this centuries-old technology were passed down and implemented in today's modern production facilities. And for 120 years since its establishment, Aiya's matcha is still created by the same milling procedures. Aijiro's tireless efforts and passion proved to be successful, and Nishio's matcha became widely distributed around Japan. Also, during the mid-Meiji era, the Yahagi River underwent major renovations. The newly accessible fertile land drove up production and catapulted the reputation of Nishio's matcha to rival the best in the industry.
The Nishio tea fields span approximately 80 acres. Let us take a closer look at how the plucked leaves become matcha.
When the young buds start to develop in early April, field workers begin covering the entire plantation with black sheets. The process of shading the tea fields for a certain amount of time before harvest is an integral part of matcha production.
By limiting the tea plant's exposure to sunlight, it increases photosynthesis, making the leaves bright green. It also increases L-theanine, an amino acid in the tea leaf, and lowers tannin, keeping the astringency mild. L-theanine provides a natural sweetness, and shade growing enhances the color profile and unique aroma of the tea.
The fields are also equipped with industrial fans that turn on automatically when the air drops below a certain temperature. When the young leaves mature in early May, also referred to as Hachiju Hachiya, or 88 nights starting from February 3rd, the long-awaited harvest season begins. The traditional method of plucking each tea leaf by hand is still utilized today.
The plucked leaves are immediately carried to the Aracha factory. This is where the tea leaves begin their journey.
First, the leaves are transported by conveyor belt and steamed in a large machine to prevent oxidation. Here it appears as if butterflies are floating in the air. The steamed leaves are blown in the air to remove moisture. This process, which is unique to matcha production, also prevents leaves from sticking to one another. The leaves are then ushered into a matcha kiln where they are dried at a temperature of approximately 180 degrees centigrade, which along with the duration is adjusted to each day's weather. Compared to fresh picked leaves, the transformation is clear. The leaves weigh approximately 1/5 of the original leaf. Tea at this stage is called aracha.
The Aracha is then transported to the refining factory.
Thanks to an exclusive relationship with the farmers, there is a steady stream of Aracha delivered to Aiya. The first process is to determine the grade of the tea. The delivered leaves are not all the same quality. In order to maintain consistency, the leaves must be divided into grades in order to assess their overall quality. The leaves undergo color, aroma, texture, and tasting tests. These procedures greatly affect the blend and are in place to ensure that matcha supplies are consistent. The leaves are passed through various machines in order to refine the tea by removing their stems and veins and cutting them into uniform sizes. The trimmed tea leaves are then blended in a huge tank. Aiya has been perfecting this blending method for decades, and this process allows Aiya to produce tencha, and therefore matcha, that are consistent for each grade in terms of color, flavor, and aroma.
The most important aspects of matcha are color, flavor, and aroma. The color should be a vibrant spring green, and you should taste a delicate astringency that blossoms in your mouth. The aroma is mild and sweet. However, this does not guarantee that each tea leaf contains a balanced amount of these aspects. This is why blending plays an integral part in enhancing the desirable characteristics of each leaf. Upon proper blending, our team segments different levels of quality into several different grades of matcha, sometimes unique to each customer.
The last stages of processing are conducted at the matcha manufacturing plant, where tencha is ground by specialized granite mills and formed into matcha. The grinding takes place in a clean room, where the temperature and humidity are kept at a constant, and airborne bacteria are removed by an industrial filter. The average particle size of matcha is around 5 to 10 microns, and one grinder can produce 40 grams, or 1 ounce, only a handful of matcha per hour. However, in order to turn the delicate tencha leaves into matcha, while still preserving its color, flavor, and aroma, the granite mill is a necessary tool.
Let's take a look at how the mill is constructed. The middle is hollowed slightly between the top and bottom and widens as it reaches the center. This hollow is called the fukumi. The tea fills the fukumi, so the top and bottom sections of the grinder never touch. There are numerous indentations on the grinding surface. As the grinder rotates, the ground leaves are pushed out through these indentations and are finely ground into minuscule particles when they reach the edge. The access, or shinbo, is made of dried oak. Since oak is durable and has little odor, it is a great material to use with delicate matcha.
This is a traditional technique known as metate. These specialized granite mills have been manufactured by artisans for centuries. The indentations that push out the matcha are only a few millimeters deep and are carefully carved, one at a time. The gradual slope, or hukumi, that deepens toward the middle is barely noticeable to the naked eye, and the construction relies solely on the sense and experience of the artisan.
After working with the granite mills every day, you become accustomed to indentations and slopes, thus creating new ones relies primarily on intuition and talent.
Since Aiya's establishment 120 years ago, these traditional techniques are still upheld and protected to this day. The matcha that has been manufactured over a course of numerous steps is packaged at the facility that follows HACCP principles. Aiya's matcha is processed in a food manufacturing class facility and packaged in a clean room under strict sanitary guidelines.
To Aiya, matcha is not only tea, but a food product. Traditionally, tea quality has been largely determined by subjective qualities and senses. However, in the food industry, scientific analysis is essential. Thus, Aiya has instated a quality control department armed with various testing equipment in order to satisfy product-related inquiries and to ensure product safety. In 2002, Aiya made history as the first matcha manufacturer to attain the management system ISO 9001, and in 2008, the ISO 22000, also the first. Furthermore, pesticide and fertilizer records are carefully recorded, fully equipping Aiya to comply with the new positive list system that was instated in May 2006. Aiya continues to strive to meet increasingly diversifying market demands and needs. Aiya is also the first in the matcha industry to cultivate new tea fields solely for organic harvesting.
In Toyota City of Aichi Prefecture, the tea plantations are grown only with organic fertilizers. These fields also undergo the same shade harvesting method at the same time of year in May as the conventional tea.
Organic fertilizers work very smoothly, and the tea seems to reflect this. The flavors are mild and refreshing. This fresh green color is also a characteristic of buds grown in high-altitude areas.
Since there are no farms nearby that use non-organic fertilizers or pesticides, there is no concern that it will seep into the groundwater or soil. Furthermore, due to the high altitude, there are very few pests. This project, including environmental protection of the surrounding area, passed all major international organic qualifications. Aiya has received organic certification from JAS in Japan as well as IMO from Europe. Additionally, Aiya's products have passed the strict kosher standards, allowing Aiya's matcha to be distributed around the world. Along with ISO 22000, AIB Superior Audit is another testament to Aiya's commitment toward protecting the environment and health of the people. Aiya has also introduced organic, Japanese-style tencha production in Zhejiang province in China to service the Chinese market exclusively. A new way of tea production has started in the birthplace of tea.
Recently, matcha has been highlighted in many fields for its health benefits. Let us see what health benefits matcha has for us.
Notable nutrients contained in matcha are catechin, caffeine, and amino acids. These nutrients are abundant in any tea. However, matcha contains a significantly higher concentration of amino acids compared to other tea. Furthermore, the fact that over half of the amino acids are in the form of L-theanine sets matcha apart from other teas. Also, since you are whisking powdered whole tea leaf, you are essentially eating the tea leaf itself. This means that you are consuming nutrients that you would not be able to consume otherwise, like soluble vitamins, fiber, and protein. It has been reported that matcha is effective in alleviating symptoms of lifestyle ailments or diseases that onset in the later years of life, such as diabetes, cancer, and dementia. Furthermore, it is said that matcha may help alleviate symptoms of hay fever. In addition, it is said to have a calm alertness effect due to the L-theanine to caffeine ratio.
In recent years, tea has not only been enjoyed as a drink, but has been used as an additive for many food products.
As with chocolates, smoothies, baked goods, ice cream, and other dairy products, matcha is used all over Japan. What's fascinating is that matcha has become increasingly popular overseas, and that matcha, along with the Japanese culture, is spreading and being enjoyed by many people around the world. I believe that this is a wonderful trend, and I'm looking forward to seeing it continue in the future.
How about matcha for an afternoon tea? It's very stylish and fun. For people who would like to enjoy matcha at home, there are a couple of steps to enjoy. First, a tea sifter is very useful when making matcha. 1 scoop, using a tea scoop or half teaspoon, is just enough. Although it is not necessary, sifting the matcha prevents it from clumping and helps to form a smooth froth. Next, add 2 to 3 ounces of hot water. You can add more water to your preference after whisking. Then, using a chasen, whisk briskly in the form of a letter M to create froth. Create froth, then rub the surface to smoothen out the froth. You can also prepare matcha using a mug and an electric hand mixer. Just add hot water to matcha and froth. It's that easy. Simple and delicious, this is the natural way to enjoy matcha.
Matcha has thrived over the years in Japan as a significant cultural heritage. Now, matcha has traveled across the ocean and beyond the tea ceremony and is enjoyed as a popular food ingredient by people around the world. Matcha has established itself as a common language across borders and cultures. Aiya currently has 3 international offices that are actively exporting to a wide range of countries. Our Los Angeles office primarily supplies to North America, while our office in Germany caters to the countries in and around the European Union. And various Asian countries are supplied exclusively by our facility in Zhejiang province, China. Aiya's matcha is loved by many people around the world.
Aiya also plays an active role in making the community a better place.
This is the Aiya-sponsored classical music concert. The concert is free to the public and is held once every 2 months. All donations will go to help restore the mangrove tree in Southeast Asia. Aiya's employees also actively participate in this event. The number of mangroves that have been planted so far is over 50,000.